Hey everybody, it's Mike Venus and I'm back. And I'm wanting to show um, what parameters you can control with the LFOs um, in the Akai Force. So if you look, I got plug-in, audio track, drum track, Keygroup track, MIDI track, CV track. Okay, so what you do to get to the LFOs, push menu, push macros, go to envelope, followers. It's at the back right here, right? Because when you open up, normally you have knobs. You do crossfader, XY pad. You're going to go here, right? So if you pick envelope source, you got LFOs, right? Now the parameters you have that the LFO can do is ramp up, ramp down, triangle, sine, square, random sample and hold, and random linear, okay? So you can see how it moves. That's ramp up. That's ramp down. That's a triangle, sine wave, square, random sample and hold, and random linear, right? Those are the LFOs you have at your disposal that you can use to, or waveforms that you can use to modulate or control certain parameters. So for an example, let's get into the tracks. Now, when you go to push the plus, you can send this LFO to control something on the tracks, the returns, the submix, the main, right? So if you go to the tracks, we got all the tracks. We got plug-in tracks, CB, MIDI, key group, drum track, audio track, all 6 tracks. So I'm gonna start first with the ones that have the least control that you can, use the LFO to control certain things. The first one is the audio, okay? The only thing you can control on this is the mixer. So this is like what you would basically see on the mixing track. You can control the sends, how it goes, right? You can control basically basic stuff when it comes to that. That's dealing with the mixer. So that's volume, pan, mute, solo, and all the sends. So just know that the audio track is very limited with the LFOs. So yeah. Second one will be CV. CV does allow you to edit, but you're only able to edit those CVs, the 4 CV outs, right? So you can put an LFO on the CV, one of the outs, whatever you have it control, and it can control some external, right? If you're doing, CV connections, semi-modular, modular. So yes, the LFOs can control that, whatever you set that CV to be. So, right. That's the second limited one. The third one under the tracks will be key groups. Yes, you can do mixing, where like we had covered with the audio track, volume, pans, mute, solo, and put it on the sends. Edit is very limited. You can control the number of voices, the global tuning, fine tuning, parametric time, legato, quantize. That's what you can control with an LFO in the editing of the track. But here, somebody might find something that's of some type of value. Within a key group track, you can have up to 100 in key groups within one key group track. So what you can do, sorry if it's like, I had to like, basically, you can pick key group and basically say you got more than one key group within this key group track. You can basically send the LFO to control the pan, the levels, the sends, mute, solo, and any effects that's inserted on that particular key group. So it's some value. But that's the third least. Now we start getting into the sauce, okay? So that leaves me with the plug-in track, the drum track, and the MIDI track. Now, I would say, we gotta go 3. We'll go drum track. That'll be number 3, right? Let me sit down because my back, oh Lord. All right. So on the drum track, you have the option to control the mixers. The mixing thing, like I said, that's the solo, mute, pan, volume, sends and return volume, right? You can actually set the LFO to control a particular pad in the drum track, so it is some value in that. And you can do the mixing, pan, level, sends, mutes, effects, and you got all these different parameters that you can control per pad, which is awesome. So you can send the LFO to control, you know, the drum effects that is on the drum track. You can set it to control that. You can set it to change if you want to do that. You can set it to the layers, because you can have up to 4 layers per pad. So you can actually set the LFO to control particular layers on the pad if you want. Everything. It's ridiculous. You know, LFOs that's on the drum track, all that. And you got some randomization, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty cool. So yeah, check it out. That's all the little things that you can send the LFO to control per pad. That's per pad. Okay, let's go. And then if you're trying to send it to the overall drum track, you only have control over the fine tuning and semi-tuning of the whole project. So that's a drum track. Then I'll say second is the plug-in track, right? Now the plug-in track, mixer, you got volume, pan, mute, solo, and the sends. When you go to edit, right, you can send an LFO, depending on what type of plug-in track you're using, you can send the LFO to control every single parameter that is available in the drum track. Not in the drum track, the plug-in track. You can control with an LFO from the envelope follower. So yeah, this is where you can start getting into like modular type stuff, and this is just dealing with the internal stuff. So yeah, depending on the type of synth engine you're using, you will have those options to control. So I like that. I find that to be very useful. Then last but not least, I think the best track to use the LFOs on is the MIDI track. Right now on the MIDI track, because it's MIDI, you basically have all the CCs, right? You got 127 CCs. You got a few blank ones that you can basically customize if you do the MIDI learn and you having like external gear and you want to kind of add different things, you can. But this is pretty dope. And what I do sometimes, or most of the time, is I'll go to the mixer and I'll go ins and outs. In the MIDI track, I will take that and send it. Oh, where's it at? MIDI. Here we go. MIDI track. I'll take it and send it to the plugin. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm on the MIDI track, oh shit, I don't got the speakers on. Hold on, let me turn it. See? And that's a great way, especially if you want to have control of the CCs that's inside the MIDI track, and you having that sent to control different things on the plugin track. So yeah, the connections of these LFOs is ridiculous. It's awesome. With the LFO, like I said, you can control the frequency, you know, how slow it move. Like this is moving hella slow. Or you can have it move like crazy fast. It's like really sporadic. Also, let me show this real quick because this question might come up. Let's say, let me put on something that's on the front. So we'll do the mixing, right? And I'm gonna pick another LFO and I'm going to target the same thing. Let's do sample and hold, and I'm gonna do it super slow so you can kind of see what I'm doing, right? Right. So now if we go to the plugin track, you see it? Now it's moving pretty sporadic because I got two LFOs basically controlling that. I got one going super slow and one kind of going fast. But what I'm going to do, let's go here. Let's slow this shit down. And let's go back to see it. Let me speed this up. Right? So you can't have, you know, multiple LFOs basically controlling the same target parameters. So like I got a random sample and hold on the oscillator, right? And a random linear LFO as well, both operating at different speeds. So you can make complex wave, LFO wave, you know, was it waveforms? Yeah. To control a particular parameter. So, you know, don't think, oh no, I need, you know, I don't have enough LFOs. 16 is enough. It's really overkill in here. Also, for a little bonus, let me go to the mixer and let's go into effects. And basically, if you go to dynamics and you go on under the Akai Professional, you do have a compressor VCA in here, right? So if you like, well, I need a VCA, you got a VCA. You also got, let's go under EQ and filters, air music technology, go to air filter. And this also gives you the capability to have a VCF, what's it, voltage control filter. And you got, you know, different types of LFOs. I mean, not LFOs, different filters, from low pass, band pass, high pass, and low pass. I don't know what AP3 is. Maybe somebody can help me out with that. But yeah, and you can choose if you want it to be digital or VCF. Okay, so you do have these things if you're looking for it. Just letting you know. Right now, the VCA, for people to know, you can put LFOs to control the parameters on this, but it's not as, I'll say, as like what you can do with Eurorack, like where you can directly put it in something. You know what I'm saying? It's just affecting the overall track. So just know that and keep that in mind. So with that, hopefully y'all enjoyed this. Hopefully this was helpful. But yeah, and with that, y'all be blessed. Let me know in the comments what you think. And yeah, with that, Akai Force can do modular. You can do modulation in it. And yeah, get to work. You could do it with internal or external stuff. So enjoy. Mike out.